Good evening, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Jacksonville North Pulaski School District will be the model district where every learner is valued and empowered to become a successful, contributing member of society. It's our mission to foster a culture of ownership and accountability through partnerships that will create multiple pathways for success. You'll join me as we stand for the pledge, followed by a moment of silence.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Moore, would you please call the roll?
Colonel Smith,
Here.
Daniel Gray,
Here.
Ava Coleman,
Here.
Jim Moore here, Ron McDaniel,
Present.
Dina Brockway,
Here.
Lauren Martin,
Here.
Laura Walker.
Here.
100%.
All right. First item we've got on our agenda this evening is a presentation on the peer network.
Good evening, board members and audience. Dr. Janice Walker, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, will come forth with this presentation. Dr. Walker.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The Peer Network is a community of practice that supports partner schools. And this year, Jacksonville North Pulaski partnered with the Peer Network. And so what it involves is they work with us in the area of recruitment, educator development, performance management, and coaching. And teacher leaders from each school receive training and job-embedded PD to support and implement evidence-based instructional practices. And a part of this network partnership includes monetary incentives that you'll hear about in a few minutes. But joining me tonight to tell you a little bit more about the Peer Network is Rachel Horn, and she is the project director for the Peer Network. And in this role, she coordinates all aspects of the grant between the partnering organizations, including design, implementation, as well as monitoring, reporting, and communicating. And she is in her 16th year in education, and she has previously served in other local districts as a secondary math coordinator, a K-12 administrator, and a district test coordinator. And most recently, she has served with the director of the curriculum and assessment with the Arkansas Department of Ed. And then also joining her over there is Brittany Hartcastle, and she is a peer network coach. And she works directly with our Jacksonville schools. And in this role, she collaborates and designs and delivers research-based professional development, personalized coaching, and on-site technical support to our teacher leaders. And she is in her 20th year of education, and she is a national board certified teacher. And she has previously served in other districts as an elementary teacher, and a K-12 literacy specialist, and a K-6 administrator. So these two young ladies on tonight is going to tell you all a little bit more about the Peer Network, and then they'll share more about the monetary incentives. So,
Good evening. It is our pleasure. Like Dr. Walker said, my name is Rachel Horn, and I am the Peer Project Director. We have partnered with the Jacksonville North Pulaski School District this year, and we'll continue that partnership into the next year. And like Dr. Walker said, we are really focused on ensuring that every student has access to a diverse and highly qualified teaching staff. We use a number of different ways to fulfill that with our partner districts, but we are proud to be one pathway towards supporting the success of your scholars. Like Dr. Walker said, we are here to present some monetary incentives. We have a number that we offer through the Peer Network. In addition to providing training, coaching, and job-embedded support to your teachers as a way to retain them, equip, and empower them through a distributed leadership model, we also want to reward the hard work that they do every day. That's not only your teacher leaders, but also your school leaders, and then your entire school faculty as well. Throughout the partnership with the Peer Network, the Jacksonville North Pulaski School District has received funding from the Peer Network for a number of incentives, including the Peer Stimulus Incentive for $30,000, the Assessment Provision for $10,894.50, the Leadership School Incentive for $9,000. We had 8 of your school leaders and teacher leaders attend the Arkansas Public School Resources Fall Conference under the Peer Network for a total of $6,800. We provided a sub-grant to the Merle Taylor Elementary School for the purposes of a local recruitment and retention project in which they have implemented an onboarding process and retention bonuses for teachers who remain committed to Merle Taylor Elementary School. That was $20,000. And then we also reward the teacher leaders who have been designated in each of your schools. We provide them funding because of their additional responsibilities. They lead from the classroom. They are a connection from the school leaders to the other teachers in the building. And those teacher leaders have received $19,500. But tonight, we are here to share with the district our honor and support in terms of student achievement. You had some schools who increased their student growth based on their value-added school growth score of the ESSA School Index, either from 2021 to 2022, or they exceeded their pre-pandemic growth in 2019. So it is our pleasure tonight to reward the district for student academic achievement a check in the amount of $78,400 for a total number of incentives this year through the Peer Network, $174,594.50. We are funded through a teacher and school leader grant from the U.S. Department of Education. That grant was awarded to the Arkansas Public School Resource Center. We are employed by the Crowley's Ridge Educational Service Cooperative, and then we enact this grant in partnership with that co-op, with Northeast Arkansas Co-op, and with the Wilburton Mills Education Service Cooperative. We'd love to take a picture with you.
Ms. Horn, would you share how much each school district spends? I do have that amount written down. And I have those administrators present to the budget.
Thank you. I would like to give the individual school amounts for that summit of student growth. Merle Taylor has earned $7,450 for this specific incentive. Bobby G. West Elementary School, $9,750. Jacksonville Middle School, $36,300. And Jacksonville High School, $24,900 for a total of $78,400.
Right here, that's all we want to make sure you want. I can. Martin. Thank you. All right. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I got I'll make sure everyone's eyes are
That concludes that report.
Right. See, the next thing we've got is a legal update. I don't see Scott.
Nothing to report at this.
That's good. All right, facilities update. Russ. Good evening, sir.
I don't have anything as exciting as that. Mine will be short because we're kind of done drawing everything for a while. Paul and Michelle will have more updates on their mobilization for Alameda and Taylor. Middle school addition is going well.
Russ, I did share with the board the renderings for the legacy walk, and so that's an action item. So if you want to share anything or
well, really, we're just taking kind of scraping the grass off that's on that island there in the Tiger Drive, and making a spot for the bricks that can be engraved, and then doing some concrete that can have some words etched into it, and then some monuments put for the Titan and the Red Devil.
Falcon.
Yeah.
The redheaded stepchild that we were back then.
Any specific questions about any of that?
we gonna start?
That's a question for them.
So, they could start, the bricks are in, and so when I spoke to Patrick, we're waiting on your final approval of the renderings, and then we can go ahead and move forward.
Awesome.
Turn it over to them.
Y'all have any specific questions regarding it? Right now, we are utilizing people that are working, or going to be working on the Merle Taylor and Biomeda Elementary schools. And so we've reached out to a number of those subcontractors and that came back. And the only difference, I believe, in the renderings and the new one is the granite. The granite that was inlaid into the legacy walk. We value engineered that out because it almost ended up being more expensive than the entire job itself. The granite. So we did, but still with the signage and everything, there is stainless steel inlay lettering that will be incorporated into the concrete laying down. And with y'all's landscape, our labor, y'all's brick pavers, our labor, everything is complete. So it's a very nice project. Yeah, and best part, we are doing it at cost. So any of our markups or any of our general conditions requirements are not included.
Ms. Dina has a question.
So are the bricks, in the roofing?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, how they're gonna do that.
Yeah, there's like a bedding stand and there's concrete underneath it, and they get laid to the top of it.
So basically, they lay all the bricks blank, and as y'all sell them, they come and pop one out to put the engraved one in. So they look finished from day one, even though you maybe haven't sold all of the bricks yet.
Awesome. And so I would assume that are we going to wait till the summer to start that, or after school's out, or start it sooner than that?
I think we will try to get started as soon as we can.
Yeah, the goal is to have,
By the end of the year.
have it be done by.
Okay. Cool. Any other update? You want to go ahead and touch base on everything else?
Why don't I go ahead and tell you what's
Come
going
on.
on with the middle school edition? Roger couldn't be here tonight, but he sends his regards. We are still on schedule for the substantial completion date of June 5th. Right now, we're at about 35% done with the brick on the exterior. That is a little bit behind with all the weather that we've had, but on days like today, they are able to rock and roll and try to get caught up. All the MEPs, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, all that is on schedule. Framing and sheetrock in the inside has been completed. The window installation is also done. And we are looking to get started. Well, actually, we started on the painting last week. And then we are looking to get started on the ceramic tile on the inside next week. So the inside's moving along pretty well. Bayou Meadow and Merle Taylor, just a real quick update on that. All of the notice pursuits to all the subcontractors have gone out. We've got subcontracts that are also being drafted and sent out. Submittals have started coming in. I'm sure you guys have seen quite a few of them already. We are in for the city and county review, waiting for a permit, and we are still looking to mobilize in the beginning of next month. In regards to the groundbreaking and mobilization, I think we've given you three possible dates to choose for groundbreaking.
I don't believe I've received those yet.
We were looking at March 30th,
Okay.
April 6th, or April 13th.
Oh, in your report. There.
March 30th, April 6th, and April 15th. So if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves and come up with the dates that would work good for Merle Taylor and Biomeda, we will work to get some stuff wrapped up for you.
You want to do them on the same day?
We can do them the same day if it works out for y'all, but we were thinking probably two different times.
About the 6th and the 13th. Then.
First in the April 6th and April.
We've got to do the 2.
Double the fun. So we don't need that answer tonight, but
Okay.
if you guys want to look at that, get back to Dr.
6th
Simon.
of April? It's April. Guess I'm not being late for the party. I don't know what that is. It's a Thursday. Those are Thursdays, yeah. Those will be during the day, right?
Any other questions?
Any other questions, guys? Thank y'all very much. We appreciate it. All right. Dr. Owa, you got a report for us?
I do, but before my report, I have Mr. Dove here for the Classified Personnel Policy Committee.
Good evening. So, as classified PPC, we wanted to take action on the military service and leave policy that I believe was updated for the licensed staff, and we just wanted to just follow their lead and go from there.
And board, what we would do, if approved, we would just replicate the policy that we have for license for classified,
Correct.
and then add that to the policy, and it will take an effect July 1st of this year.
We need to put that on an agenda, or do we need to, are you looking for action this evening?
You can,
Yeah.
because it's coming from the PPC, you can take action then.
Okay. Is there a motion? So moved. So moved what? What is it? So we're gonna
Military.
match the classified and the personnel policy. Okay. Any other questions? That was the discussion question. I'll throw it out there. None? All right, all those in favor? Any opposed? It passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, sir.
So in addition to the reports, we do want to recognize another one of our board members. And so, Mr. Gray, do you want the honor?
Sure.
Mr. Moore is being recognized with the Pinnacle Award for having over 200 training hours as a board member.
It says, present to Jim Moore for your devotion to school board service, retaining at least 200 hours of continuing education, and for providing superlative leadership to your school board and to the Arkansas School Boards Association. And he also gets a pen. We're in a limited company with 200 hours, I can assure you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Six
Four hours small.
No.
He has no life.
Yeah, nice project.
Thank you, Mr. Barkley. Also, a couple of more things. I do want to recognize our school counselors this week. This week is the National School Counseling Week, and so we appreciate all of our hardworking counselors, pre-K through 12th grade, and all of the work that they do for our scholars and parents. And the last thing is, as a district, we launch Jacksonville Reads. It's going to be a series of lunch and learn sessions that we have where we start to engage our community more in providing additional literacy support and resources for our scholars beyond the school day and beyond the school year. And so we've had our first session this past week, had several community leaders there. And so we hope to have a lot of success from that program as we continue to grow our community outreach with our literacy program. And that concludes my superintendent report.
Any questions for Dr. Owa?
Dr. Owa, do we work in conjunction with the Adult Learning Center in any capacity?
We haven't, since I've been here, I haven't been in contact with no one from them. I haven't.
I was just curious, across from the hospital, we didn't know if there was any interaction in regards to literacy.
I mean, we will definitely look at that. I'll talk with our guiding coalition because that could be a potential partner for our parents and older siblings who've matriculated.
Yeah, I was able to attend the kickoff, and it was very well put together. A lot of participation. Colonel Smith was there as well. members of the base. But it was, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a good launch point. It's just kind of just getting started. A lot of opportunities for the community to get involved, and there was a lot of good discussion. So I'm encouraged that it will definitely be a good jolt and help the district achieve every kid on level by third grade. I think was the one takeaway I took from it. So
On or above grade level by third grade. You have packets that were shared with the community members up there in the plastic bag. And then before you leave, to your right, we have yard signs that say Jacksonville Reads. So you could take those as well.
all right, next item we've got is the consent agenda. We'll get the minutes from January, both meetings there, the assistant superintendent's reports, and then a financial report. Is there anything that needs to be pulled down for discussion? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
All right, motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Next item is the FY24 district salary schedules.
Yes, again, board, this is one of the things I'm definitely happy to do. Anytime we can increase our salary schedule in a positive way, it's always a great thing for our licensed staff, and classified staff. So in front of you, I'm proposing a 2.5% increase to the base salary for all licensed staff, and then for classified, a $2 per hour increase for all classified staff. That will be in effect July 1st, 2023. And you'll see the total cost is approximately 1.2 million. Some of that will come from the teacher salary equalization funding that we receive from the state government as well. And so the recommendation is to approve the proposed salary schedule for the 23-24 school year.
All right,
So moved.
Second.
got a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Had one question on here. Trying to find it. The additional duty pay for like, let's just say bus athletic trips. If a bus driver makes a certain amount per hour, but they are going on, do I read this as they're only getting $12 an hour to go to a ball game versus their real pay is actually quite a bit more than that? Is that how that works?
Yes, for that additional work on top of their normal work schedule, that would be $12 an hour.
Okay. Is it hard to find bus drivers to volunteer for a trip when they got to take a pay cut to do that? Seems like we've had problems in the past on, just from a parent perspective on the baseball, finding somebody to drive us. Coaches are having to drive, we're having to take multiple buses, and players are driving, and parents are driving. It just seems.
This year isn't as bad as last year, but the goal was to revise the main salary schedules for both licensed and classified. And then our task for next school year is to work on the stipends and additional duty pay so that we can kind of manage the increased costs that we're incurring and not do it all at one time.
Okay.
So we do realize, not just with the additional duty, but even with our stipends pretty much have been the same since the start of the district. And so those need to go on a revision as well. And so that entire page that you're looking at, including the classified stipends, will go under review for next year.
Okay. All right. I definitely think that needs to be poked on a little bit. Okay. All right. So we got a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That passes unanimously. All right. Child nutrition stipend.
So board, before you have a proposal from Mr. Walker. Of course, we continue to operate in the black in our child and nutrition fund, which is a positive thing, and it's due to the work that our staff continues to do. And one of the things that the State Department has approved for Mr. Walker to do is to incentivize our staff to become Serve Safe Handler certified, as well as for the managers to become serve state manager class certified as well. And so the proposals before you is once they receive that certification this year, that they receive a stipend of $1,250, but they must have a passing score of 70% or higher, and then must be completed by February 28th of this year. And then, of course, certificate of completion must be submitted to the Child Nutrition Office by March 1st, 2023. So you see the approximate cost is about $60,000. It's minus the zero. So just right there. It's 60,000. Yes, sir. It is coming from Fund 8, which is the Child Nutrition Funds, and we definitely have the funds to cover that. So the recommendation is to approve this stipend for this certification.
All right, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion is second to approve that. Any questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously as well. Next item I've got is the 23-24 calendar.
Yes, before you, you have the school district calendar for your review and approval for the 23-24 school year. The recommendation is to approve.
And the first day of school will be
August 21st. Mhm. And you'll notice some of the major changes that we front loaded most of the teachers, licensed staff members, professional development. We felt like it was more important for us to get as many days on the front end of training for our staff members than at the back end of the school year. And so we also wanted to include a couple of days you will see for a fall break in October that will give our staff and students a break and not such a long period of instruction school. And so we've incorporated that in this calendar as well.
What are those dates?
The 27th and the 30th. It's a Friday. We didn't do a whole fall break, a week long, but we added 2 days. So the recommendations to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion and do I hear a second? Motion and a second, any discussion or questions?
June 17th is Juneteenth, the holiday that was just passed and approved last year. And that day will only impact the 244 staff members because school would already be out.
I saw June 28th, I'm like, we're not in there. But this is the whole year.
Mhm.
All right, all those, no more questions? All in favor? Any opposed? That passes unanimously. And all right, final legacy walk design that we've already talked about, but you want to bring that picture back up for us?
Yes, sir.
Are there any comments or thoughts? We've got a recommendation from Dr. O to approve that. He's bringing it back up on the screen. That was awesome. Is that the current shape of the circle, or is it going to be shaped as the emblem?
That's the current shape. So you would see at the north part from this, but it's really the south part, is where the 3 walkways will start. And what you cannot see on this drawing, right here, and right here are the names of the mascots. So you'll see Falcons, Titans, Red Devils, and then that's where the path would start. And then the flags will also fly the names of the schools. So you'll have a Red Devil flag, a Falcon, and a Titan flag. And so anytime the board wanted to recognize or decide to memorialize someone, those will go on these monuments right here. And so what I've asked Baldwin and Shell to do at WER is to give us a place where if we want to have an outdoor recognition, so that's why you see a lot of cement right here so that we can have an outdoor ceremony right there. And all of these monuments have uplights and lights on the pole that will shine. So when we have football games, it will be well lit. And then, of course, after the basketball games, it would still be well lit. So all visitors will have access to be able to see it.
All right. Got a motion and a second? Didn't I? I think I did.
Make a motion?
Any other questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, there you go. Child Protection Center, Pinewood Professional Development Center, Dr. Ola.
Yeah, so we're close to the finalization of the construction for the Child Protection Center that will pretty much go behind where we sit now into the gym area. So it's an L shape. Of course, the team from Children's Protection Center has been meeting with community members and discussing next steps. Community seems to be excited about it. And so this is on here for the board to consider how much we would like to contribute to the construction costs for renovating this space behind us. One of the main reasons why we would need to consider is that not only will it change or prepare, renovate the building for the Children's Protection Center, it's going to also completely renovate the front of this building. So the entire front and out near the parking lot, the front facing will completely be renovated. And so we wanted to make sure we contribute financially to that construction cost as well. But that amount is up for discussion with the board.
Do you have an idea of an amount that you would feel comfortable with at this point? I mean, I think the total project that I've seen budgeted is around 1.3.
1.3.
So, I mean, it's our facility. We're going to be still using quite a bit of it. I mean, all of our executive meeting rooms and stuff will be affected, plus the front face. So, I mean, I think we ought to do a significant portion of it as much as we're comfortable with or we can afford, of course. You don't have to whisper, you have a microphone.
So did you ask me what?
Yeah, do you have a recommendation or an amount you feel comfortable with?
It's up to you all, but after looking at where we are in our facility funding, as well as facility fund, as well as taking into account our next two building projects, we could comfortably do about 250,000 for our part.
And we could always revisit that in the next few months or upcoming, if possible. Is that a motion? All right, I've got a motion from Ms. Dina and a second from Mr. McDaniel for $250,000 commitment towards the remodel project for Pinewood and CPC. Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Good job. Thank y'all. All right, work session, student enrollment growth. We are having some issues with some overcrowdedness, and we've got some fiscal discussions about facilities and assessment growth and things like that. We need to schedule a work session. Mr. Beardsley, I think, is going to join us. And some others. So how soon do we need to have that? Do we need to have that before March?
March would be the latest that I would go because we need to make some decisions on.
Did Mr. Beardsley give you any dates by chance?
No, he actually said that he would let.
Mondays are always usually pretty good. Is the 20th, 2 weeks from tonight, available? President said we're in school, aren't we? Or y'all?
I don't.
We can be here.
Dr. Walker, are we in school on President's Day? Oh,
Yeah. It's just a regular day.
Oh, well, the scholars are not here. Oh, but we're here. Okay.
We go back to the calendar and change that.
I'm gonna be leaving. I can't. All right, how about the 20th? Yeah, you guys are, you know.
Yeah, we're working.
No vacation for you guys. All right, is everybody good with the 20th? Let's try to coordinate that, make sure Mr. Beardsley and whoever else needs to be here is available. If they are, then let's pencil that in. Yes, they'll be here. And, 6 o'clock, is that good?
Mhm.
6 o'clock, okay. All right. Let me put that on my calendar real quick.
Okay.
All right, Cisco Foods renewal.
Yes, this comes from Mr. Clint Walker, our Director of Child Nutrition. He's requesting that we renew our Cisco Food contract as the vendor for child nutrition until June 30th of 23. And the recommendation is to approve this action.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve the renewing of Cisco Food as food service
Vendor until 6/30/23.
Second.
Very good, thank you, sir. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? None opposed. All right, asset deletions.
Yes, so that we can remove these items from, legally remove these items from our asset list. We're asking your approval to remove the following assets that are outlined in front of you, and the recommendation is to approve the removal.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
A motion and second to approve the recommendation to remove these assets as listed. Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, personnel.
And you have
We have an addendum. Let's go ahead and vote on the addendum. Everybody has one. When you walked in, we've got an addendum with 2 names. Do I hear a motion to add this addendum to the personnel list?
So moved.
All right, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, those 2 names are added to the list. All right, we've got a personnel list from Dr. O with a recommendation to approve that. I'm going to speak for you, sir.
and the recommendation is to approve.
Any questions would be need to be held in executive session. If there are none, we can go ahead and vote. So what is the pleasure of the board? A motion to approve, Ms. Tony, is that what I heard?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Student disciplinary actions.
You have 6, I believe, in your folder.
Oh, they're in our folder, so let me get out of this. Everybody got them? They're in your drive. All right, first one we'll do is student number 1.
I gotta get there.
All right, everybody able to access everything? Ron, you good?
Yeah.
All right, has everybody had a chance to review that? For student number one, do I hear a motion? Get a motion to uphold the superintendent's recommendation for expulsion. Is there a second? Got a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. All right, student number two. All right, student number two, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
A motion and a second to uphold the superintendent's recommendation for expulsion of student number two. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. All right, next we've got student number three. Do I hear a motion on student number three?
So moved.
Motion and a second to uphold the superintendent's recommendation for expulsion on student three. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously as well. Student number four. All right, do I hear a recommendation for student number four?
So moved.
Got a motion and a second to uphold the superintendent's recommendation for expulsion for student number four. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Student number five. All right, do I hear a motion for student number 5?
So moved.
Get a motion and a second to uphold the recommendation for expulsion for student number 5. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. All right, student number 6. All right, do I hear a recommendation for student number 6?
So moved.
Motion and a second to uphold the recommendation for expulsion for student number 6. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously as well. And that is the last student expulsion. We have one more item on the, I skipped over something on the personnel report. There's a assistant superintendent personnel report. Dr. Owa.
And that's really important. But the recommendation is to renew their contract for an additional year. And so they will move forward with the 2-year per year approval.
All right. Didn't mean to forget you guys. Sorry. All right, what is the pleasure of the board? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make,
Second.
you know, we did it simultaneously.
Got a motion and a second to approve the assistant superintendent's contracts for 2 more years. 2 more years. All right. Any? Nope. All in favor? Any opposed? That passes unanimously. All right. I think that's the last item on our agenda besides adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
All right. We are adjourned.
They go play this up there, sit together. No, yeah, keep the window down, keep the window down. I think it would, I think it was set up by 80. I think so.